Do you know all those guys online that are selling you coaching programs and they're making YouTube videos about how to scale an SMMA or growth operating or some fancy new business model? You know who I'm talking about because you watched them and so did I, right? Well, I want to give you a new, hopefully refreshing perspective on how to actually get to 10 grand a month and what this all looks like. Just for some context, I'm 22 now and I have a pretty guru-y balcony, or not balcony, this is the roof, but look at this view, dude. Freaking Miami. It's dope, right? I was born and raised here, just got out of the steam room because I'm a little sick. So the point is I hit my first, you can see right here, I had a 6K week back in 2023, 5K week before that, and right here you can see this here, October 2022 is when I signed my first ever agency client for very, very cheap. Like, I was freaking crying and I had a mustache. It looked like Jack Sparrow. But I signed my first client then I scaled to like 5K, 6K weeks with cold outreach, working with real estate agents. And it took me a long time to learn this lesson that I'm about to teach you, okay? If you're in this space, you need to understand, okay, that this is something that had to click for me so bad. I need you to really get this. All the people that you see telling you what to do and showing you strategies, they all have a selfish desire at heart. Humans are just like that. We have selfish intentions, selfish desires, right? And for them, it's typically to funnel you into their coaching or consulting program. And I have no issue with that because I run my own consulting business. I'm not here acting like I don't. I teach people, I work with them one-on-one, and I help them scale their high-ticket offer. But the point that I'm getting at is that I realized this when I was running my agency and I was hitting like those 6K weeks and 10, 20K a month, and then I kept on going and like I'm grinding and it felt really hard to get past that. And what I realized was that everybody else that was showing me how to get to the next level was doing something different than they were actually showing me. And what I realized is that the actual pathway, that's that graph I have pulled up right here, the actual pathway of an online entrepreneur that's going to make millions and millions of dollars goes something like this, okay? You start off as a freelancer where you're just doing one-off things and you're running ads or you're doing something for business owners or, something like that. And you go from a freelancer to an agency owner where you start hiring some VAs, you start outsourcing things, you start building systems, right? But what I didn't understand was everybody was telling me you could scale your agency to 7 figures and all this stuff. But all the people telling me that were a coach or a consultant. And that gets me to like the main point of this video is that I had to realize and I had to see between the lines from first principles, right? Sam Ovens, he talks about that the people, they got to the next stage of online entrepreneurship, which is simply going from an agency owner to a coach or a consultant. I'm going to break this down for you right now. The only difference between all these levels, level 1, level 2, level 3 coach consultant, excuse my handwriting, damn, I suck at handwriting on a Mac, and number 4, which is software and product, which I can't talk about because I don't sell that, but I have done 1, 2, 3, all these 3 right here. What I can tell you is the only difference between those 3 tiers is leverage. Each one of them has a little bit more leverage, all the way up to number 4, which number 4 is just the ultimate lever. You make a software, Netflix, they built it one time and they sell it infinitely. Ultimate leverage. Coach or consultant, a little bit less leverage in a software and a product, but way more than an agency owner. Because now you don't have to do done for you services. Instead, you could teach systems and principles and things that have worked for you. And so it took me a while to realize this, which is that you start off, because if you already know me, I make content for my old self. And I kind of lost touch with that recently because the old self I used to make content for was the guy that had no idea what was going on. The guy I made content for when I started making content was this dude that finally got his first client. He dropped out. He proved everybody wrong. He sold his freaking car. Maybe I have it here in this doc that I'm actually working on. Whatever. Long story short, I basically sold my car. I had a Jeep Wrangler. I sold it to get started with online business. I sold it to buy courses and mentorships and that type of thing, right? And so now that I've experienced level 1, getting a couple of clients, getting lucky and finally making my first dollar, to getting to 10, 20 grand a month with an agency and building out a team and, working with real estate agents, to then being a consultant and plugging in acquisition systems into other agencies, into, helping consultants scale, into doing all those things is that each stage has a new lever, and each stage comes with a new income level, right? And each stage comes with a new skill set. When you're a freelancer, all you have to do is learn how to book meetings. When you're an agency owner, you basically have to know how to hire and how to delegate and how to do the right tasks and do the needle moving things in your business. When you're a coach or consultant, the skill you have to learn is you have to learn how to build an audience. You have to learn how to post content. You have to learn how to speak with conviction and be creative and say words that drive people towards a better life and taking action and making changes and solving problems so they could go and pay you. When you're running a software or a product, I don't know what skills you need to have because I'm not there yet, right? But I have gotten to 1, 2, 3. Now, all that being said, I was looking at some research right here, and I'm looking at keywords. And this is, Google Trends, where you could look at how different words are ranking on YouTube search is what I'm looking for specifically in the US over the past 12 months. And I'm comparing the term SMMA, an agency owner, to coaching. I put copywriter in there. We could even put in something like consulting, which is basically the same thing as coaching. I see consulting more in a B2B sense where you're helping businesses. Coaching is more B2C, helping people live a better life. Regardless, pretty much the same thing. But what I see here is if you look just right, like look at today, right? January 26th, or today's 27th, but you get the point. The interest over time. So this is rated on a 0 to 100 scale by Google. This is by Google. 0 to 100, coaching is at an 82 interest. SMMA is at a 15. Agency owner is at like a 0%, like there's no interest. Copywriting's at a 7, consulting's at a 21. What does this insight tell us? Well, it tells us that people are starting to pay attention to the fact that everybody actually making the money online is running a coaching or consulting business, right? But the issue becomes, if you're a beginner, you cannot ethically run a coaching or consulting business if you don't have a skill set. And so hopefully I can give you some guidance, some clarity here on how you could get there. Because I've worked with a lot of agency guys. Most of my clients are between 18 and 25 years old, right? Agency owners, coaches, consultants, people in this online space that I help scale. And a lot of these guys are running an agency with the end goal of shutting it down to coach or consult people. A lot of those people, like a lot of my clients, already know that that's where they're going with this. But if you are where I was before, crying because you signed your first client, you might be asking yourself, like, how do I ever get there? Can I start now? What does that look like? You don't know, right? And so hopefully I can give you some clarity, because look, in order for you to coach or consult somebody, you need a skill that solves a problem they currently have. Something that you've gone through, you've solved the problem for yourself, and now you're solving it for other people. And for me, I started consulting based off of the experience I had in my agency, and a lot of people try to skip this. As a matter of fact, before I recorded this Loom video, I was checking out my Loom app. And if you could see here, I have 368 Looms recorded. I don't know if to you that's a lot, but these are all Looms that I recorded through my consulting business, through my agency, hiring, SOPs, all this freaking stuff. I've put in so much work. I have over 100 videos on my YouTube channel. I've taken over 1,000 sales calls in total. I've sent probably millions of cold DMs. I don't know, that might be a stretch, but I've sent a lot. And the reason I'm able to win, while there's so many people that are doing the same exact thing I'm doing now, yet I'm beating them, the reason I'm winning is because I didn't skip steps. I didn't get shiny object syndrome and say, hey, I see Iman, Godzi, and all these people running consulting businesses. I'm going to do that right now. A lot of people try to go there. A lot of people try to help somebody. Maybe this is you. Maybe you have an offer. I know so many people that do this in my DMs. Maybe you're running an offer where you're helping coaches scale, right? I had a guy in my DMs. He's like, Christian, I can help you scale your coaching business. And in this is going to sound arrogant, but in the nicest way possible, I've made more money than him with the thing he's trying to help me with. Fundamentally, there's something wrong in the industry right now. And maybe this is a wake-up call reminder that you can't skip steps. You can't get to the income level you want to get to until you have the skills to match that. I couldn't skip steps to get to where I'm at. And so, what was the first skill I learned? Main skill, if I just had to put one big idea for you, it was cold outreach. So I learned how to send cold DMs to strangers, to real estate agents, get them on a Zoom call, and get them to buy a high-ticket service. That was my first skill. And I started posting content online with the pure intention of just helping, and people asked me for help. And that's how I started consulting, was just because I had the experience. And in my first month teaching people, I made, I think it's $23,000. I have a screenshot somewhere. Maybe I pull it up. Found this one. It was, I think like a month and a half, 27. So, yeah. But the point is that I didn't skip a step, and I didn't just go to making content trying to teach people the thing without doing it. And so in my recent videos I've been making, I've been talking about how to start a coaching, how to start a consulting business, how to teach people, how to build an audience, how to sell in the DMs, how to deliver on a coaching offer. But you might not be there yet. And so you need a plan to get there. If you understand the pathway of an entrepreneur, of an online entrepreneur, this is it. I mean, look at anybody. Iman, agency owner, became a coach, a consultant, then went to sell software and products, is doing a whole lot of money, right? That's just one example off the top of my head. And so what is the game plan for you? The game plan that you need to follow is skill stacking, skill building, real world experience beats out any type of offer, any type of ESL, any type of strategy experience. At the end of the day, people want to pay people that are genuinely good people and that are genuinely good at what they do. They don't care about the crazy guarantee. They don't care about the crazy offer. They just genuinely want to get their problem solved. I said genuinely like 4 times there because you have to be genuine. And there's a lack of genuosity, genuineness in the space. There's a lack of it. But you can win, not by trying to be genuine, but by just doing the things that you've said you've done or that you're trying to teach and do. And so if I was restarting this whole thing over, I would start by running an agency, right? That's probably how I would start, because I know Old Christian, this guy, his only skill set, this guy right here, Old Christian, was the gym, right? Was going to the gym. That was my first thing after I dropped out of college and I was like a partier and doing all that stuff. First real skill I developed was the gym. So reasonably looking back now, 3 years ago, I only had 2 routes to go down. Either learn money-making skills and start an agency, or teach people how to get jacked and start a fitness business, right? Fitness coaching business, which is totally a route you can do if you have that skill. But if you want to be in the B2B market in the whole agency space, you have to go a different route. And so basically what you want to do is you want to learn a skill in an agency and apply it. I recommend work with local businesses. Like, dude, do not work with agencies, coaches, and consultants. You can't compete with somebody like me in that, not because I'm superior, because I'm a regular guy, but just because I've actually done the thing. That's it. That's the only reason. It's not that I'm special, right? Okay, work with local businesses. The reason being is they are less sophisticated. Most local businesses, like when I worked with realtors, I knew more about marketing than they did, even though I barely knew anything. I knew how to run basic Facebook ads, but they didn't. I knew how to build funnels, but they didn't. I knew how to build a CRM, but they didn't, right? And so you could just start with a done-for-you service, like just run ads or do content or do outreach for some type of local businesses. And as soon as you get a couple case studies, then you could start. You have 2 options. You could teach those local businesses how to scale and go into the leverage model, which I don't see anybody doing. Everybody's just coaching and consulting other agency owners, other coaches and consultants. But a totally reasonable thing you can do, how about that one, is teaching local businesses in a consulting model the same skill that you actually learned. Because again, what's the word here? Leverage. When you don't have to do the service for a client and you could do it with them on a Zoom call and teach them via a course, you have more leverage where client fulfillment doesn't take up your whole day. And then you can go and actually sign more clients and be able to get to 30, 50, 100 grand a month or whatever you want to get to. Okay, so hopefully it's starting to click for you. If you're a complete beginner, I'm telling you, man, listen to me. I've been there, I've done that. The way that you do this shit is you learn a skill. I don't care what it is. Like for me, right? Cold outreach was the first one, launched my consulting business, and I helped other agency owners build cold outreach systems in their business in order to get clients. My second skill was content creation. If you go to my YouTube channel, I have over 100 videos. That creates another gap. And gaps are what people pay for. because there are people with 0 videos and I have over 100, and I had to go through the mistakes. I've made so many mistakes creating content. I've like made huge mistakes, and people pay me thousands of dollars when they go to create content and build an audience and monetize it and sell high ticket consulting offers, to avoid the mistakes I made, to speed up the process, to not have to learn on their own and take the same amount of time it took me to grow my audience and like do the things that I've done on YouTube and Instagram. So do you see what I'm saying? The next thing became content, and then that's what I help people with. I grew my consulting business to multiple 6 figures, so I also help people with that. But God damn it. Sorry, I shouldn't say God's name in vain. Listen, the people online they haven't done what they're teaching. This is a freaking weird video, but look, if you like this one, let me know down below, because this is real, raw shit that you need to know if you want to grow an agency or consulting business at a young age. Integrity, man. You need integrity. You need to just like stop looking for shortcuts. I was watching a podcast, Taylor Welch. If you know Taylor Welch, dude is a stud. Him and his business partner. I was listening to a podcast. I think it was his business partner. I think they did like $100 million in sales, like in our space. And I think his business partner said the one thing he regrets is scaling too fast. They ended up getting sued by the FTC, I believe it is. And they went out of, like, trafficandfunnels.com went out of business. They scaled too fast. Everybody wants things too fast right now. Develop your skills, get real world experience, get actual client results, and teach the things that you're actively doing. If you want to learn content creation, start with that. Start making videos, and then offer a done for you, full all-in-one package. Like if you've seen my agency videos, we sell full acquisition systems. I think that's the best agency service to offer, like a full stack thing to make sure they get clients. But like, if you're gonna learn content creation, learn how to edit posts, learn how to ideate, learn how to publish them for the client. Do that, get a case study, and then teach it. Freaking train honking. Do you hear that? What the hell's going on? I guess that means I should wrap this up. But look, learn skills, apply it, gain experience, run an agency if you're a beginner, get case studies, transition to a consulting model, and then just think critically. Don't listen to what people are telling you. Listen to what they're doing. I think I'm the only real one talking about this stuff, man. If I really wanted to, I could just talk about like SMMA content all day, but that's not what makes me the money anymore. It's a consulting business because it actually gets client results, and I love it. My clients love it, and it's a win-win. And so I put that out there because, again, the goal of this channel always has been to serve my old self, to serve versions of Christian that were lost, that didn't know what he's doing. And so hopefully this video was a breath of fresh air to you. If you enjoyed this one, subscribe, let me know down below, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.